Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we're just continuing with our ephemera pieces we're going to make. I grabbed a little container so I could put the ephemera I have made in here for the journal, just to keep it aside, and I know that it's for this journal. So we have our 2 pockets that we've made. I'm going to try to do more in this video, so we're just going to jump right in and get started. Now I have this bag here, and I want to decorate this bag. So I want to see what I have already pre-cut that I could use. This is kind of nice. That I think would make a really good focal point in here. I have this gray, but I think I want something bigger. So let me see what I have here. I love this shape. I really want something bigger. Maybe we should do, maybe we should do a, this is the new embossing folder that's in the online exclusive. I have some butterflies from, cut out of Bubble Bath, butterfly shadows, I guess, from a butterfly die set I have. That's a Stampin' Up! One that's retired. That wouldn't look good with this, but that just gave me a thought. Let's grab our embossing folder. There's a new one, another new one that I just love. So let me see where that is at. So the one you just saw here with this, which I may use, and I just dragged my ink pad over it, is the new Zinnia 3D embossing. So isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And I just dragged an ink pad over it, and I may use it, but not on this. It's just not working for me on that. But this one, the Layered Florals 3D, I think that would be so pretty. And then do some sort of a bird. So that would be really pretty on there as a backdrop, and have a little bird somewhere on here. Okay, so I need to figure out what size cardstock I need. I am going to do it in cardstock. So this bag is 4 3/4. I think if I do it at 4, I will still get some of the yellow. And then you do want to measure your bag, and then how much you want to. I'm going to kind of do like we would, like if we were doing a card front. That's how I'm going to decorate this. So this is 6.5. So I'm going to do it 4 by 5 3/4. I think that's good, because this is a 6 by 6. So I know I have a piece cardstock somewhere around here. No, that's paper, but I don't know where it's at the moment, so we'll get another piece. And I'm just going to use the basic white. So we decided 4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to do 5 3/4 on the long edge. And we can use this piece, and I'm going to cut this to 4. And before I emboss it, I want to make sure it's the size I want. Yes, I love that. That's going to be good. Okay, so we're going to get this embossed, set that aside, get that in there where I want it. This line on the front, maybe I want to go this direction. Yeah, I'm going to go this direction. This line on the front will help you line up so it's straight. Although I really think for some of these it just doesn't matter. But if there is where you think it looks straight, this line on the front will help you. So I've got that in there. I'm going to grab my big machine here. Yeah, my plan is to use our card making skills to decorate our journal. Okay, so for this you're going to need the bottom plate number 1, and you're going to need the number 4, the gray plate. I'm going to get this in here. And I think we're going to experiment a little bit, because I don't know if I want that just all white. Although it would look really nice adding a bird focal point on there. So I'm gonna get these put away. I just love that. I love how dimensional that is. Okay. Let's see what this will look like on top. You know, because the bag is colored, that does pop that up. I don't think I'm going to do anything with the color. I think I'm going to leave it white. And then we'll go ahead and put this away. Okay, now I need to decide what I want to do for a focal point here. Now, I'm not necessarily going to use black, but I'm going to see. I could use this with a color on it. And maybe string some ribbon across there. So that would be nice. Or I don't think I want to go with the square. I definitely want a different shape. So let's get our one that we probably haven't played with a lot, heartfelt. Here it is. Countryside Corners. And it's not in there, so I need to get it out of my die box, which is right here. I'm looking for my hexagon shapes. There they are. I think that hexagon shape would be really, really pretty. And so what I want to do is, I think I want to do a pink. It's so bright and happy. Let me see what polished pink. Or wait, not polished pink. Flirty flamingo. That's what I want to look for. Let's see what this would kind of look like on there as a background. I'm going to totally do that. Okay, but I don't want to hide all of these flowers. So let's see what size we want to do here. These things I have them on are just some magnets I purchased on Amazon. It helps me keep these. And I don't keep the papers because for some reason that tape is so strong that puts them on here that when you get the dies, the cardstock with the tape is so strong that I have a very hard time pulling it off, and it yanks on my nails. So some people don't. I do. I do have a hard time. So that would be about the right size. Let me see what this size would look like. How much of that beautiful floral would that cover? That would be okay. You would still get some of it. Will it fit on here? Yes. So I'm going to cut that. And then this one will be the white on top of it that we're going to stamp on and decorate. Those two sizes. So I'm going to use the 3rd and 4th size. If you're using the hexagon, that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to grab my mini cut. I'm going to set the sack and this aside. And grab my plates. So for this, you're just going to need, I need to get replacement plates. I use my mini as much as possible. It's just easier to pop up on here. So I'm going to cut this first. And I'm actually going to cut this so I don't want any marring on my paper. And sometimes if you don't have brand new plates or whatever and you put it through, it can mar your paper, and I don't want it to do that. Now you can use washi to hold this in place. I have a low tack tape, so that's what I'm going to do to hold this die in place so it doesn't get twisted and not cut correctly, because it is very close to the size that I need for this. Don't have much room for it to wiggle. Okay, that's on there. Now we're going to go ahead and get this cut out. And the low tack tape, you can use washi for this too. If you have really sticky washi, it depends on the washi, like I guess the brand maybe. Some of it's stickier than others. It is meant to be removable, but some of it is sticky enough where it will rip your paper. So if you're concerned with that and you're using washi, you don't have low tack tape, just put the washi on your clothes or on your sweater and get some of that fuzz on there, and that will help eliminate the stickiness and the chances of it ripping your paper. Okay, so we have this piece. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to get a piece of white and cut this. That'll be good there. I like to freehand cut as much as possible. I think it just saves time when you're making the journals. Okay, there's that piece. So get rid of this and get this stuff out of the way. Now when I make journals, I make a mess. I have stuff all over my table, but I grab for it while I'm making the journals. So, okay, so we have these pieces here, and I'm gonna layer them like this. But before I decide if I'm gonna put any ribbon on here, maybe through the center or somewhere, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to decorate this piece. And since I have Quiet Meadow out, this might be kind of fun to use here to stamp on it. Okay, so I really love these words. I have an idea for them, but this is going to be this orientation. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm done with these, so I can put these away. See how this flower will fit on here. It'll be really big, but it'll fit. I think that'll be very nice to put that on there. Yeah, let's do that. So move this out of my way. Get the black ink, which is right here, and then I need to put those other stamps away. My other block, I think I need the long block. We'll use this one. That'll fit that stamp nicely. Yep. And I'm going to again grab my paper that I've been stamping on. And I don't need a foam pad for this because it's a red rubber. And we're going to go ahead and get this inked up. And I'm going to stamp this on this. Okay, that's very, very pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to clean this off. And it's so fun to play with the journals too, because we can dig out some of those stamp sets we haven't used, which we should be doing, you know, as we get new ones. We play with those, but it's nice to dig out the other ones that we haven't played with and play with those. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this away and my other stamps away. But I'm not putting the stamp set away. I'm going to be playing with this. I might cut out some of this greenery. Okay. I am going to want a butterfly, and I'm going to put that back in there. We'll decide what color it's going to be in a minute. Okay, so with this here, I think, so we've got the yellow and the Flirty Flamingo. Let's do the flowers. I think I want to do the flowers, and I'm kind of thinking boho blue with some daffodil centers. So I'm going to grab Blends Daffodil Delight and boho blue, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my soft sea foam for my greenery. So what I want to do first is I want to see what this looks like. So this is dark soft sea foam, both ends. So the marker ends look darker on the dark. This is the light. Here's the marker end on the light. Actually, I think that's going to be too light with these colors, so we're going to go with Garden Green. Garden Green. Do we have Garden Green? Maybe we'll use Granny Apple Green. Let's see what this looks like. And this one here is the light. That was the dark. This is the light. I think that will go well. And even lighter. Okay. So we're going to use the green on that. And then boho blue, I just want to see This is the marker end for boho blue. Do the marker end here. That one's the darker one. Okay, and then Daffodil Delight. I actually wore, this is a new blends I had to get for Daffodil Delight because I wore it out. Okay, that helps me. Little color swatches, which is kind of decorative. That will be fun. This page, whenever it gets done, will be fun to use to collage with. So we're going to do the light one first on these stems, and I'm just going to use a marker point. Quick coloring here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so there's a lighter one. And since this is such a thin lines, I'm only going to use the marker points because I feel like there's a little bit more control over that, and just to add some darker down the stems, just to give some contrast, just kind of sort of following the lines best I can for this, just to give, you know, some shading. Different colors in here. Let's put a little bit in there. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, so those are colored. Now we need to do the boho blue, and I think I want to go with the lighter one. So the lighter color was this end. So I'm going to go ahead and making sure that's the light. I'm going to make my flowers the light boho blue. Okay, there's that. I'm going to grab the darker one and just kind of go in where these lines are, just to give it some different variation of color. And I'm going to go back in with my light, the bullet end or the marker end, and I'm just going to kind of blend. I forgot that this end was darker, but that's okay. They'll still be pretty. I'm going to leave these closed petals alone. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my dark Daffodil Delight. I'm going to fill in the centers. That's good for me. Okay, so those are done. I'll put those away in a minute. And this is going to go on here. But before I do that, I want to do some more stuff to this. So I'm going to take this stamp that has this writing on it, and I'm going to take crumb cake and I'm going to add some layers to this. So, and I'm not really caring if it's on a block, so I'm just going to dip this into this. To give it some different, you know, texture. I'm just going to add some of this script on here. That's good. Okay. Now I'm going to add this to this. Set that there for now. This is how this is going to look on here. Right there, which would make a beautiful card as well, I think. So we've got that. Now I do want to cut out a butterfly. Let's see if I have any of my Daffodil Delight out here. Scraps. I also made some flowers from the, but there's enough flower on there. I don't need to do that. I have a scrap of Daffodil Delight. So I could do tone on tone, but I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab this stamp. I'm just going to stamp on here. I think that's good. We'll do some right there. See if I can just do the top right there. That's good. Okay, so there's some of that. And then I'm going to grab, well, I'm going to clean this stamp and put it away. And one more thing I want to check. So that's ready for this little butterfly that I'm going to cut out. And then I want to check and see if I want to do any kind of ribbon around it. So let me see. I don't think so. I think I just want to leave it like this and have that pretty paper showing. So I'm going to cut this so we can get a butterfly cut from it. Grab my small. Get this butterfly cut out. In case you didn't know, if you have both the small and the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the small one you do have to stagger the plates to get it to go through. Not finding that with the large one, but with the small one you do have to do that. There's that cool butterfly with script on it. So we've got that, and it's in the Daffodil Delight. Put this die away. Okay, and I'm going to grab some gems because I know I'm going to want to put gems on that butterfly. Okay, let's assemble. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. And then attach this to our emboss piece. You're probably going to have to hold it down because it is embossed. So that it sticks. And then we're going to add, where do I want the butterfly? Right there. Now I'm not going to add too much dimension because it is going to go in a journal. We're putting a bunch more stuff in there, so that way there's room to continue putting our pieces in there. And I'm just putting these blends away really quickly. Okay. So I'm just gonna, I kind of want this butterfly to be loose, so I'm gonna just kind of fold up around its body, fold its wings up. I think I just, oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue the main body on here, but not the wings. I'm gonna leave the wings free. So I'm gonna put that down so that way it adds dimension. Okay, next, I'm going to see if I have any more of the, oh I do, I have some more crisply ones. Here's the sequins, but they're kind of clear, I don't want that. But I do have those, and I think those would be really pretty on the butterfly. Cannot find, I need to clean up my desk. Okay, so there's that. So I'm trying to decide, will these hold through the use of the journal? I think they will. See, is that all I want to add to that butterfly body? I think we can get one more in there. Yep, there we go. So there's our pocket. Let's see, I put that away. A little bit of bling. We could do more, but I think that's enough. So this would look good I don't want to use a big pocket personally for the birds, but we could do that on this. That would brighten up that page, and what it's going to be is going to be a place to put a journal card or a tag in here, and also a tuck spot. We could do a tuck spot this way. That would be really pretty on there. I think too busy on there. Don't want to cover. This I'm okay with because you see a lot of that. Another place we could put it is, we could do this as a flip there. And then we have the center one here, that pretty blue. Now you can write on that, but we could put something like that. You can still write there, and then you would just, I would provide more, you know, writing space with that. So there's a bag, and if you made your own bag, you can do the similar thing. So there's that. Now let's do some, put this in our stash here, what we have finished. Let's do some simple pockets, some more simple pockets. So another thing we can do is side tucks. Now we have these pieces, and we have some thinner pieces. Let's get those out. We have some of these thinner pieces that we've cut. Instead of having to cut more paper, we could use these. And it would just be something you'd put on the edge of the paper where you're not covering up as much paper of the DSP, so you can still see that, but it's a place to tuck a card for journal, for writing in your journal. And this also is a great place for memorabilia. So we've got those. That's too busy for that. I really kind of like this blue there. What's on the back of this? Oh, those birds I could fussy cut. And we've got some more blue and some brown, which I don't want to use on either one. So that's a good one. If you want to do it that thin, you could do it that thin. So let's do that. We're going to do 2 of these, and we'll do them on either side. And I think we'll stick with the blue. We have some more blue here. Okay, and I'm just going to double check this here. We haven't used this yet, and we have that pretty purple. I'm going to go with the blue. Okay. So I need to cut another piece. This one is about 1 inch wide. So that's what I need to cut here, is one that's about 1 inch wide by 8.5. So we'll cut it, flip it this way. Cut it 1 inch. By 8.5. Okay, and I'm going to save that piece. So we've got 2 side tucks. I think to differentiate these, let's look at our border dies. Add some more lacy edges. So I have a couple of choices for border dies. I must have out somewhere. I know I'm prepping for a class working with border dies, so I probably have them out somewhere. Well, let's look at there's that one. We also have a scallop. I'm really looking for a scallop edge. So that scallop was in Color on Contour Retired Set. This beautiful scallop. That I think would be really, really pretty. So I think we're going to use that. We're going to have to cut a couple of times to get it the way we want it. So again, we're going to grab our mini cut and emboss machine and we're going to scallop these edges. I am going to use my low tack tape to kind of hold it in place. It doesn't really matter what end I cut it from. Since I'm right-handed, I'm just going to go ahead and line this up. Get my low tack tape I've already been using. I'm going to line it up off the edge just a little so that it cuts all the way through. So your die here on the edge, just want to make sure it goes off the edge just a little and get the scallop as close to the edge as you can. And then lay your tape. And we're going to go ahead and cut this. Remove your tape. And then line this back up. Run that through. Okay, there's one scallop done. I lined that up pretty good. Cool. So there's one. That's going to be so pretty on that page. We got one more to do. So we have both for both pages. Line this up. Okay. I'm going to have to dig out my other dies wherever I have them so that I can, but I do like this scallop a lot. So we've got that cut, and now we need to do one more pass. Line this up down here. And there's our scallop. Now I didn't cut all the way through in one of these corners, so all I have to do is grab my paper snips and go in there and just clip that. There we go. That's loose. Now we've got these beautiful scallops for tuck spots. Put this away. These also would make really great journal cards. We'll probably cut some of those. Or those shapes. Okay, so this will sit on here on the edge of the page. Isn't that pretty? That is, oh, I love that. That is just beautiful. And it's going to sit on the front and the back for me. So there is some finish. Now I have one more thing I want to look at. I had an idea while I was cutting that. I'm wondering what some ribbon would look like if I put this down like this. Well, this one's not as long as this one. That's okay. I must have measured wrong. So if I put, let me use the long one. So if I put this down like this, and then ran some ribbon on the side here, I can either do it right on the side where it hangs off the page or just line it up with that edge. I'll have to think about that. But we have a couple of pieces. This one's shorter, and that's fine. We can do something to kind of help disguise that it's shorter. Put some flowers or something here on the bottom and the top to make it part of the design, and I'm fine with that. So, but that's still going to be so pretty. So let's see, do I have one of my flowers handy? Yeah. So from the paper florist, which is good to cut out some more flowers, and so we could kind of add this down there. We could move this to the top. Well, actually, because normally pockets and stuff are more towards the bottom, I would probably prefer to do it towards the top, and we can kind of add that, and that would cover that, and you'd have a little bit hanging out, and it would be pretty. So you would cover the fact that it's shorter than this one, and that would be really pretty. Okay, so 2 more pieces done to decorate our journal with, and I'll think about the ribbon. That would go on after it's attached anyway. So there's some tuck spots. You could also, if you don't have any borders, take your circle die and just punch a little notch in here like we did for these pockets if you don't want it flat, and then you would have a little notch, so it would indicate that that is, you know, you pull from there. So, all right, so we have a couple more tuck spots, a couple more pockets, and we need to make some more, and I have some other ideas. I want to do some interactives. I may want to go ahead and put these pockets in there in the journal, just so that they're in there where I want them, but there's some interactive stuff I want to do as well. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.